Next, we have UST, who is also a gold sponsor. So please welcome UST onto the stage.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Atul Verma. I represent UST. Unfortunately, we got very little time. The fact that we don't have a very long presentation must be a relief to you. The lack of presentation will have to be made up with my extremely amazing personality. So I'll try and exude a lot of charm. But let's talk a little bit about what really are some of the problems that are facing us today in terms of the development practices that we have. It's probably one of the most cliched words that we've heard, but clutter seems to be the buzzword around everywhere, right? I mean, the problems that these new practices like DevOps, Agile, SRE were supposed to solve, they've also resulted in so many tools, so many data points that need to be tracked. And every time we feel that we're getting a grip on something, unfortunately what it does is that we get deeper into the mess, if you will. Yeah. Now, we take that word very, very seriously. Removing, you will notice that there is absolutely no clutter even on this slide, right? It's very simply our brand and the product that is with us. Now, how does it really impact us? So it is important to understand that remove everything out, and we know that any problem where we are not able to identify the data in real quick time is going to cost us our maturity levels, irrespective of what you're following, whether you're following DevOps, whether you're following Agile, whether you're following SRE. So irrespective of whatever you're following, any lag in getting this data, acting on it, is going to cost you your maturity. And I think that is where our most critical problem lies, and that's what UST PACE is attempting to resolve. So let's try and understand how. PACE stands for Platform for Accelerated Cloud Engineering. It consists of various models or modules which will help you do different things at different times. Once again, we're trying to take it one thing at a time, and we're not trying to make sure that everybody has to do everything on the same module. So the first module that would help you, and what would it help you do, is that it would first help you understand what your maturity level is. So a typical user journey for PACE is going to be around where somebody comes in, understands their maturity level through a module that we have, which is called Calibrate. Now, Calibrate is typically a virtual advisory tool. It allows you to understand what your maturity levels are, where exactly are you lagging, and then also potentially gives you content to ensure that you can cover those lags. That's Calibrate. Let's move on to the next step. So now you've understood through Calibrate what your key KPIs are, what you will be able to, what you should be monitoring. Now the problem is that when you look at these other tools like Jenkins, Jira and some of the other, there is so much information out there that it almost takes 4 weeks, or 3 weeks or 4 weeks to get meaningful data out of that and then act on it. And this is something that we've done through time and motion studies with various large organizations that we've worked with. So therefore, what we do at PACE is that we allow you to create those basic KPIs that are most critical to you. And we put it out there. It aggregates into an application health score which you can monitor at a glance and tell whether your application is doing well or not. Let's take it one notch up. As a portfolio manager, it allows you to give you an aggregation of that aggregation of multiple applications and tells you how your portfolio is doing. So now, when you're looking at the platform, what are you seeing? All the KPIs that you've identified, which are your problem areas, they will come up, you will look at them, and you will quickly be able to understand that these are the KPIs that we need to be working on. And how are they impacting? So the view that you get is, you have a portfolio score, you're seeing 4 out of 5, great, nothing needs to be done. The minute you see 3 out of 5, that's when you need to double click your way down to the set of applications. You will double click your way down to the set of KPIs, and once you've reached that set of KPIs, that's when you need to start working. Let's take a look at so at PACE, we are driven by the adage which is called so what. Okay? So now, so what? You've got the information, what next? Obviously, you would like to bring control. So here, because you can customize this application health score, and let me take an example of vulnerability. So let's say your key thing that is impacting you within your organization is vulnerability, and you know that this is what it is. Now we have another module which is called conveyor. Conveyor allows you to establish these controls and ensure that even before the build is fired, you get warning signals and you get to understand that, hey, these are the things or these are the vulnerabilities that are hitting you. So it prevents, we're shifting as far left as possible, and it prevents you from even firing that pipeline and that build getting deployed. So you will get your warnings, the coder himself will fix that problem, and then he will be able to take it on from there. Another interesting thing that we've been able to do with PACE is, as a result of being able to do this, we've been able to ensure that you can establish end-to-end traceability. Now, how do we do that? So something which is referred to as follow the code. I know I'm being asked to cut it out. I'll just take exactly 30 seconds. So another interesting thing that we've been able to do is that we've been able to establish something which is called follow the code. A very interesting visual representation of how your story gets created into Jira and then goes all the way across right to the time it gets deployed. So something goes wrong, you will be able to backtrack and find out where exactly has it gone wrong. We would love to give you a more detailed demo, and for that I invite you to our booth and we'd love to show you how it all works. Right? But in conclusion, all I would like to say is that PACE is one tool which will help give you a very holistic view of what your problems are in development. It will give you a bird's eye view of where those problems lie, and it will also allow you to fix those problems. Thank you so much.